Hi there, it's me, Vasily, and welcome to your Dream Tarot spread. Okay, so this is going to be all about your dreams. So basically, I'm using here the Tarot of Dreams guidebook. All right. So this is going to be the story spread designed especially for the Tarot of Dreams. This story spread encourages you to think of your life and your situation as a story. It also provides a method of investigating and challenging the stories told to us by our conscious minds. Often, our ultimate happiness depends on our willingness to constantly question these egocentric stories and see if they are really true, or if our ego is telling us something that only serves to cause us more stress. The first card position is called the story, and the card is a microism of the reading as a whole. The remaining cards are the rest of the story and serve to amplify and expand upon themes found in the first card. The story, position 1, the story. This card provides an overview of the chapter of the story that you are presently living. Okay, so we're going to find out exactly what that is all about. So I'm going to just be using Major Arcana for this part. I don't know why, I just feel like I want to just use Major Arcana or like whatever these cards are. I don't know. I want to use these cards. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Whoa. We have the world. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. I can see how that would be the first card. Ooh, then we have the second card, Judgment. Hold on a second. So there are 9 cards that we're going to be using all together. So we have the world, we have Judgment, we have Page of Wands, we have Five of Wands, Conflict. The world here is supposed to be at the center of this. So let's see here. World, Judgment, Page of Wands, Five of Wands. Oh, Six of Wands. Lots of wands. Okay. All wands here, really, honestly. Wands, more wands. Okay. Ace of Wands, Three of Wands, Four of Wands, even, and the Knight of Wands. A lot of fire energy that is surrounding this world card. The element of fire, even Judgment speaks fire to me right now. So why all this fire? Let's see here. Okay, so the world, this card provides an overview of the chapter of the story that you are presently living. You're living in your world. Look, at the center of the world is the Fool. Okay, so you're on the Fool's journey here. The rest of the story. Card number 2 is what you think. Okay, so the story, the world. Let's see here. The Fool has come full circle. He is now fully aware of how naive he was at the start of his voyage, yet how necessary that naivety had been in order to start him on his way. He now acknowledges his place in the universe, his existence as part of a larger pattern. Soon he will be ready to embark on another voyage, and the sequence will begin anew. So the sequence is beginning anew. There's also Hebrew letters here as well. So I'm interested to know what these Hebrew letters mean. So the world, enlightenment, attainment, completion, but at the same time, a new beginning. Seeing things as they really are. Something that had seemed silly is now seen as profound. Being inured to life's inequities. Dancing on your limitations. Here, the fool finally reaches journey's end. Ooh, journey's end. Interesting. The state of ultimate enlightenment that he has now attained is, of course, unimaginable for us mortals. It can, however, serve as a symbol for the accomplishment and awareness we experience in our lives about fleeting. As the final card, the sequence is naturally signifies endings and completion. Wow. Um, or as the Zen proverb has it, before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. The Hebrew letter Tau means signature or seal. The universe bestows its diploma, signed, sealed, and delivered. Um, Astrology, Saturn is the planet of restriction. Okay, so you're feeling some kind of restriction here. I mean, judgment isn't a good, it's not ideal, right? You have a guardian angel here protecting you, protecting these souls, um, letting them up into heaven. You have these two masculines standing on each pillar, allowing these women, it's like souls, to reach heaven. And this woman at the top here is like an angel. And the men are holding the hoop, the circle. The world is like a circle. It's like a compass. Something here with masculine and feminine energy being in conflict, but a woman is at the center. A divine feminine energy is at the center here. Yeah, I mean, wow. Okay, let's take a look here at the judgment card. Um, Judgment. I feel like the world and judgment are so intertwined. Traditional decks show an angel blowing a trumpet while resurrected corpses emerge from their coffins, a scene right out of Christian iconology. This refers to the resurrection and last judgment, when the souls of the dead will reunite with their physical bodies prior to receiving their final deposition in heaven and hell. In the Tarot of Dreams cards, we see an angel, but here she represents the fool's inner self. Yeah. So you got both the fool and within the world, and then you have the judgment. So the fool's inner self, who is after all only a part of the awareness or motivating force of the universe. On the judgment card, the angel calls us to widen our perspective and to awaken to our existence as part of all that is. We are called upon to identify ourselves with the universe as a whole rather than as a solitary ego. Um, Infinite wisdom and patience. Beneath her, two golden men hold up a golden hoop, through which we see the progressive stages of women's ascension. On the judgment card, the circle is seen as its ultimate incarnation. Passing through, we finally cross the boundaries of our egos to join the world consciousness that waits. The four female figures show a progression of awareness. At the lowest position, the woman floats with her attention directed downward. At the middle position, she feels herself being tugged upward and through the transformative loop. Finally, she passes through the transformative circle, ready to face the purifying fire of universal awareness. Ooh. In the tarot, gender is often used as a symbol, and it can be instructive to consider the gender of the figures on each card, as long as we remember that those genders are meant to be thought of in a symbolic sense only, and do not refer to anyone's actual gender. Yeah, I mean, masculine, feminine energies, gender neutral, like, you know. All right. Yeah, you've got different elements, but the world, you're purified. Like Mercury in retrograde right now, I think is like a lot of people are gonna be like, you know, down on their luck, so to speak. But you are not. Okay, you are not. All right, you're being purified here. You're being ascended here. You are seeing your rewards. Yeah, your rewards are coming in for you now at this time. Sorry about that. Okay. Interesting. So let's take a look at these other placements, okay, that we have in this reading. I'm just gonna see. I had the reading book and I. Oh, here it is. Okay. So literally, position 2 is literally like this card literally describes your conscious mind or your ego, um, and what you think about the story, and the final analysis. And it's like the second card is literally the judgment card. It's literally the description. It's literally the final analysis is this fire here that you have here. Okay. Judgment. Yeah. Now, position 3, what you get. This describes the physical circumstances in which you will find yourself in your story and continue on its present path. Okay. And in that regard, we have the Page of Wands. Okay. So let's take a look here at the Page of Wands. And we're going to see what that is about. Page of Wands. Yeah, I mean, it's like you are like I feel like you work for yourself, but it's not like ego driven. It's really like a pure, like you give yourself purely to your work. But a lot of people are trying to like make it like try to downplay what you do, try to seem like it's not good enough, right? Like the only way to purification is through like material gains, like money or something like that. But you are seeing that that isn't the way to purification. The way to purification, because money and ego are very, in this corrupt ass society, are very intertwined. Okay, but you know that you need material wealth, but at the same time, it's like you're not living your life for material wealth or material gain. You don't have a negative um, relationship with money. You don't use it to manipulate people. In fact, it's like the other way around. Like other people use it to manipulate you, but you find a way to like outsmart them because you've been through this purification. Okay, anyways, moving on. Page of Wands. The personality. The Page of Wands has a mischievous twinkle in her eye. The checkerboard floor and the four columns suggest a stage set on a chessboard, indicating that she enjoys drama, whether as an audience member or as an instigator. She is easily bored and likes to stir up the pot wherever she can. She looks as if she has just hatched an improbable plot, which will no doubt provide her with much amusement. Stage of development. The page heralds a new beginning in an endeavor or project. It is the nature of energy to exist, not as a constant, but rather as cycles or waves. Thus, just when the current crisis is over and we finally settle down to enjoy some stability, invariably a new idea will pop into our heads and whisper seductively to us, and the cycle begins anew. Approach. Pages are learning. The Page of Wands suggests that you learn as much as you can about the project or endeavor before diving into it head first. And that's really important because you don't want to like instigate things, right? This is what you get, right? Like if you instigate things, um, you're probably gonna like get some sort of like reaction out of somebody. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you need to like speak up and reveal the truth. I feel like the Page of Wands is revealing this truth that like you have been purified and nobody can touch that. Nobody can get in the way of that, and that becomes like something where you like attract all these people that are like drama starters, right? Like fire starters. But you're not a fire starter. You're not a drama starter. You're like, you know what? Like, I'm not like, this isn't about egos. This is about like actual like truth and merit and dropping the ego. And you find the truth in it, like an investigator or something like maybe an investigative journalist or something like that. Now, position 4, what you feel, okay? This card explores the emotional roots and foundations of your present circumstance. This is where you'll find hidden emotional motivations, okay? And this is your conflict. 5 of Wands, conflict. Masculines fighting each other. Yeah. Well, they'll probably fight over you. I mean, you're a very amazing person, okay? So, of course, they're going to want to, like, fight over you. Of course, they're going to want your attention, okay? Um, so you can't help it. You can't help be hot, right? Now, 5 of Wands, okay? So, yeah. Okay, let's see, like, the 5 of Wands, what this is about here. Oh my god, it's funny. I love this. Okay, yeah, tensions are high. There's a lot of tension in the air. I can feel it right now as I'm literally doing this reading. Okay, there's a lot of guys that, like, want to be with you, but unfortunately, a lot of them just, like, don't meet your expectations. Like, they can't even meet you at your level. So you can't really just, like, be like, yeah, okay, hi, I'm so into you, because, like, you're not into them. That's the thing, is, like, they're into you, but you're not into them. And I think they try and, like, misconceive it or misconstrued it for, like, oh, so and so is so nice to me. So and so is so friendly. It's like, I'm not being friendly. I'm not being nice. I'm literally just, like, what are you doing? Like, I really want to know, like, what the heck are you doing here? Like, what is this about here? And, like, that really, like, boils their blood. Too bad. A battle or struggle, teaming up against a common foe. Cooperative creative work, people who are isolated from each other yet work toward common or opposing goals. Against a fiery dawn sky, 4 male figures wield wands. In the center of the card, 2 disembodied hands wield a 5th wand. 5 is typically a number of instability and also a great opportunity. The 5 men on the card can most easily be seen as fighting with each other. Thus, the most obvious meaning would be a battle or a struggle. However, there are other possibilities. The men could all be on the same side, for example, teaming up against a common foe that surrounds them. In this case, the meaning would be a team of allies under attack. Another possibility is that the men aren't fighting at all, but rather are constructing something together. Cooperative, creative manifestation would then be the emphasis. If you look carefully, the men seem to each inhabit their own world and are not relating to each other. In this interpretation, the card could mean several people who are working alone, isolated from each other, who are nonetheless working toward the same goal or opposing goals, depending on if you see the men as cooperating or fighting. Any of these meanings could apply depending on the context of a specific reading. Saturn in Leo, the creative and self-confident Leos face restrictions from the limiting effects of Saturn. Okay, that's the astrology there for you, okay? Um, don't let what these guys are doing with each other and how they're, like, they want you to be confused. Okay, they want you to uh, fight over them. Fight to, like, get their attention, so to speak. But you're the Page of Wands. You can let them have their drama. Let them have their little moment of you know. Yeah. I just thought of, like, rated R terminology. Okay, but let them measure their dicks. Okay. You do not need to be a part of that drama. Okay, girl. Okay. Yeah, you focus on yourself and let them deal with that. Like, they have their own shit that they need to take care of. Okay. Yeah. Now we have here what you deserve. Okay, here we go. This card shows you what you expect on an emotional level. And that's exactly what you're looking for, an emotional connection. Okay. Yes, there's other factors. Okay. Like, and some guys will try to dirty it up, like, make it to seem like some, like, freaky, weird shit. No, it's called real, true intimacy and commitment. And it isn't, like, based on just one factor. It's based on a lot of factors, okay? But emotional stuff is real. And if a guy wants real true intimacy with you, then he's going to be honest about his feelings towards you. And he wants you to share your feelings as well. It's not one sided, it's two sided, okay? And these guys that, live out here in the world today, of course they're going to be disruptive. Of course they're going to cause chaos. Of course they're going to go online and look at pictures of other women and videos and not be respectful of you and not give you the time of day. And that's because it's like easy. It's for them. It's accessible. They don't have to even try. They don't even have to be invested. These women that are posting stuff online, they're getting paid. Okay, sweetie. They're not doing it for you. Okay, they're not doing it because they would actually ever bang you in a million years. Okay, they're doing it to pay their bills, sweetie. And they don't need you. That's why they can do it by themselves. Okay. But these guys want to use what other women are doing to be financially successful and stable in their lives, and they found a way because they know you men are dirty, 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 just freaky weirdos that don't even want to be loyal, don't want to have any intimacy, and they can profit off of it. So the other women out there that know their man is up to this are just like, I'm just glad this woman's getting paid, because obviously, like, I wouldn't want you for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they think they can like hurt you by doing this. They think like they've one upped you. They think you're jealous. It's like, no, sweetie, you're a fool because you are online giving attention into your own desires that aren't even, it's illusion. It's not even a real connection. It's somebody who's getting paid and never's gonna meet you, probably, most likely. They're never gonna have a real connection with you. And they want to use that against other women. It's like, we're all us women, we're like all on the same side, okay? Yeah, there are a few women here and there that are, just as bad as these toxic men, that like baby their sons, don't teach their sons any respect towards women. They're misogynistic women that have lost touch with their divine feminism and their divine masculine. Yeah, they do exist. I'm not, I know at least two that are like that. But like they're that's who your man runs to. Your man runs to his mommy when he can't get any, because he doesn't know what else to do. He doesn't know how to build a real true connection, no matter how many times you spell it out for him. Go to the store, buy me roses, buy me chocolates, buy me wine, buy me a nice piece of jewelry, watch a movie with me, help me with the chores, plan a romantic date with me. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, that's all too much work for me. I can't do that. I'm going to go back to my mommy. It's like, of course you are, because your mom didn't raise you right. So go back to her. She didn't raise you to take care of a woman. She didn't raise you to treat a woman right. So of course, go back to her. Of course, run back to her. And that's usually what you find them looking at online, is like women who look similar to their moms, right? With a little, slight differences, so it doesn't seem, gross and Norman Bates. But it's like, I know what you're doing. You want your mommy. Well, I'm not your mom, okay? So I'm not going to be online with you like that. And I'm not going to be acting like your mom in real life either. And honestly, it's like, at some point in your life, you get to the point where it's like, you can choose who you want to be, what you want to be. And I strongly believe in women empowerment, and I'm glad that my man is so like obvious, and like it's like I can rely on him to not give a shit. And that's what makes it so easy to trust him, because I know I can't give a shit. I know he can't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. He just does whatever he wants, does whatever he does. And I'm just like, how predictable. And the most predictable way. It's like, oh, really? Okay. But at the end of the day, it's like, who cares? I don't care. I got my tarot cards. I got my mom fuel right here. So I'm good. I'm Gucci. And all these other guys, I can just go online and just like look up some shit or whatever. It's like, you don't want a real connection. And those women aren't ever going to bang in real life. So if you think a woman's going to get jealous over that, she's not. Okay. All right. Anyways, moving on. That was my little spiel. That was my little rant. Okay. So, yeah, we've got what you deserve. This card shows what you expect on an emotional level. Okay. And that is the Six of Wands. Okay. We've got some chronological order happening here. So, right after some deep conflict, you've got the Six of Wands victorious. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see here what we got here. Okay. Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is victory. Obviously, that's what you deserve. You deserve a victory. Okay. Battle leader appears on a balcony proclaiming his victory. Five wands are being held up below him in obstinance. The sixth held as a scepter by the leader. There's only one topped by a glowing crystal. On his breastplate are dragons, an element symbol of fire. The dragon motif is repeated on the banners hanging over the balcony's edge. Um, yeah. This is a straightforward and simple card. It means victory. Victory is what you deserve. However, it is far from straightforward and simple. The man has won his battle, but notice how his face set in lines of determination already shows some signs of hardness, which makes us wonder how long it will be before he starts exhibiting some of the more negative sides of the emperor, and how long it will be before the five lower wands and their bearers begin to combat the majestic light of crystals brandished so confidently by their leader. We may also notice that the crystal provides only light in the scene. For the moment, all is seen in the light of the battle and the victory. For a split second, the earth stands still and the victory is the only reality. Only later will the wheel of fortune, inevitable motion, be felt once again, and then the victor may see his fortunes change. Jupiter in Leo. Upon attaining long-sought goals, we feel a heady rush of pleasure and confidence as we receive the universe's bounty. Jupiter and Leo. Confidence, Leo, universe's bounty, Jupiter. So, of course, you deserve victory, okay? But it's only going to be for a split second, perhaps, because what happens after that, we're going to find out. All right, so you get what you deserve. Now we have position 6, what you tell. This shows how you present yourself to others and how you express yourself. Look at how you express yourself. The Four of Wands. The door is opening. A light is shining through. Okay? So, Four of Wands. Okay? So, after your victory, you're going to get this Four of Wands energy happening. So, let's see what that's about. Let's see. Okay, this is safety and security. What? Okay. Taking concrete action in order to create the changes you desire. As we stand in a forest, we see looming above the treetops a striking vision. 4 towering wands, or columns reaching to the sky, and an enormous wooden door swinging slowly open, revealing a blinding light. Behind the columns and the door, a huge red moon hangs in the sky. The columns suggest sturdiness and stability, especially when we consider that there are 4 of them. Since the number 4 traditionally symbolizes solidarity and security, the doors also suggest stability, since they imply a structure that provides safety from the elements and from an attack. This safety and stability is juxtaposed in the card with elements of extreme unreality. This demonstrates that all endeavors and projects which begin as dreams or visualizations of change must at some point in their progress begin to manifest themselves in the real world, or else be doomed to remain in airy visions. When this card appears in a reading, now is the time to open the door, in other words, to take concrete action to create the change you desire. Venus in Aries. Venus in Aries, you create an environment to your liking, Venus, in a direct and forceful way, Aries. And that is what you are doing. You are taking a forceful action towards your environment that you like. You are choosing an environment that you like. You're taking charge. Okay, now we have here what you are. The parts of yourself that have been determined by the physical circumstances of your upbringing. Knight of Wands. Not a Wands. This entire reading is Wands energy. But that's okay. I like Wands. Wands are good. Okay, Knight of Wands. Let's see. Here we go. Personality. The Knight of Wands is the essence of impetuosity. He is headstrong and impulsive. He is single-minded. He only has room for one focus, one cause at a time. This is not to say, however, that he will always be faithful to the particular cause, just as the Knight of Cups is in love with being in love. So the Knight of Wands is in love with being something or someone's champion, and possibly cares more about his role than whatever it is he's championing. Notice how he bears a standard that is blank, showing that it could just as easily represent one cause as another. He pursues his passions with tremendous amount of energy, indicated by the dragon he rides, but he has a short attention span. We often find him abandoning one cause for another, which he champions with just as much energy as he did the first one. Without his intense but short-lived commitment, we probably would never rouse ourselves to accomplish anything. Stage of development. A precarious stage of a project or endeavor where we must invest our complete attention and loyalty if we want to have any hope of succeeding. Approach. Knights are doing. The Knight of Wands suggests that you put your plans into action so that they take on a greater reality than simply as daydreams. Astrology. 2/3 Leo, 1/3 Cancer. The Knight loves his flamboyant role, Leo, and he will go at any means to protect that to which he owes allegiance, Cancer. He has allegiance to you. You have allegiance to the cause. I don't know if you know what it really feels like. This is a person that you think deserves to enter the door that you have opened in your life. But at the same time, is this person flighty? Are they going from like one thing to another? I think they are. I don't think that they are committed to you in a deep way. I think they're committed to themselves, and then you say, okay, well, what about me? And then they say, oh yeah, I forgot about you. Yeah, I'm committed to you too. But then another person comes along. Oh, what about me? Oh yeah, I'm committed to you. They have like the scene where they have to like people please. They can't just say no, like I'm good, thanks, but no thanks, and just go to the next thing, right? The thing that matters the most, right? And stay committed. This is somebody who is saying they're committed without being actually committed. You know those types. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Okay. So another word for it is a liar. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then we have here what you need. This card shows what you feel you need to be happy on a physical level. In other words, what level of physical comfort or security you need on what level of risk. Okay. So that is the Three of Wands. Okay. There's a whole story here about these wands. Okay. So let's see. Three of Wands. Waiting for the first signs of success after having taken initial action. Waiting for a return on one's initial investment of energy. Replaying one's initial success, thus falling to progress to the next level. Naked man sits on a rocky promontory, watching a fabulous sailing ship that floats among the clouds, shining with an uncanny light. After considering possible directions in the Two of Wands, and the 3, we have taken initial action, given the first shove against the resistance of apathy, and now wait to see what results will occur so that we can plan the next step. The project or endeavor is shown as a flowing ship with a sun pattern on its sails, thus illustrating the miraculous nature of Wands energy as it is heroically struggles against the complacency and inertia which drives us down. The ship could be seen as embarking symbolism, the project or endeavor set in motion, or alternatively, as returning, so that the man is waiting for his ship to come in, so to speak, or waiting for a return on his initial investment of energy. The man is nude because he is sincere and honest in his motivations. Sun in Aries. You take charge of the situation, Sun, by taking direct action to influence events to your liking, Aries. There you have it. Okay, so you're going to take initiative and action to something of your liking. You're not going to just waste your energy like this Knight of Wands is doing. Remember that? Like, there's no Knight of Cups, so this Knight of Wands is not in alignment with you. Like, if you're someone who likes to be in love and your Knight of Wands wants to be in love with you, then that works. But this isn't the case here. In this particular case, your Knight of Wands is this guy that's just like not taking a relationship seriously, like at all. In fact, it could be multiple guys like that because of the Five of Wands. Multiple guys fighting each other when it's like you're wasting your time. Like, I don't need people fighting over me. I don't need that. I'm not going to waste my energy with that. I'm not going to try to like convince one of you to like me. Okay, like, you already know what the traditional normal way is to win a woman's affections. And that isn't through fighting and arguing and squabbling with each other. That is through actual devotion and time and investment of energy on romantic things. Okay. And I think this guy, this guy in particular, this Nine of Wands, he's like, oh, well, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the motivation. And it's like, then get lost, bud. Okay. Now we have here what you expect. This shows what your conscious mind or ego expects for the future. Ultimate prize. Ace of Wands. The ultimate prize. Okay. Volcano erupting. There's a volcano erupting and a lizard in the hoop. And this started out right next to the hoop. The judgment. The hoop of judgment. And now you have a little, like a chameleon lizard looking thing. Near a volcano type thing. Okay. So, Ace of Wands. Let's see. The Ace of Wands energy. The desire to change something in our life or in our environment. A volcano erupts, tinting the sky red. Lava flows towards us across the rocky plain. A lizard perches in the round metal hoop of creation. Judgment, creation. A crystal top wand glows with a yellow light. The lizard is a reminiscent of the salamander, the elemental creature of fire. The wands tells us a story about energy and its utilization. Life in general is about to change. The wands tells us a story about energy and its utilization. Life in general is about to change, and often we speak of wisdom. We refer to acceptance of the transitory nature of life. But with wands energy, we get to turn the tables and affect our own changes on our environment. In the Ace of Wands, we become aware of desire to change something, and the rest of the suit describes our efforts and experiences as we apply energy to make the change. The Ace of Wands may be experienced at different levels of intensity. Sometimes you may get a small niggling of dissatisfaction and desire to make something in your environment different, that is. At the other end of the spectrum, you may find yourself overwhelmed with the desire to save the world or to run off and join the Foreign Legion. Either way, the ace represents an opportunity to feel the fire running through your veins, like the lava on the card. When involved in a project or endeavor, success will often depend on your ability to remember this primal feeling that inspired you to begin in the first place. Full circle. We started out with a circle, and we ended with a circle. Alrighty. So you started out with the world, which is the ultimate circle here, the ultimate sphere, and then you ascended into the sky, and you realize that it is time for an adventure, my friend. So, yeah, just you're going on an adventure here. You're not tied down to any particular guy. Like, you're not tied down to any particular person that's trying to, like, say you deserve less than you deserve. Okay? You're this Knight of Wands guy. Like, he's got a million and one problems that he needs to deal with. And you're not going to be part of that process. Okay, other than reminding him that, look, I've got my own process, I've got my own things to deal with. You're not one of them. Okay, and honestly, like, what it takes for two people to, like, even get to that point where they want to be on a spiritual journey together, they want to be in love together, they want to live life together. It doesn't it's being a team. It's respecting each other. And I don't think that this person is respecting you. So I would just stay clear of the drama, stay clear of the guys, like, do something for yourself. You have this beautiful adventure happening, waiting for you, change. It's going to be different. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I myself am moving soon. So I'm on that adventure right now at this time. And I mean, yeah, it's like, tell those toxic guys to stay away. Like, the only um, energy you need right now is the energy of people who love and support you and don't try to cause chaos and drama and conflict in your life. Okay? So, that's my message for you, collective. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching.